you don't even just have to find a niche that already exists. Like, part of what's so great about it is, like, you can create your own. Like, if you think there should be, like, a YouTube book club, start it. Just put yourself out there, and you'll find, even if it's just, like, 4 other people that want to do it with you, that's how big things start.
Cool.
So.
I like it.
And that's what YouTube is really all about, is just, you know, the interaction.
Totally.
I remember, yeah, uploading my videos at night, and I would go to bed because I was excited to read the comments, and I'd make myself not like wait for it to upload. I'm like, I'm gonna upload it and go to sleep, and then when I wake up, I'll have something to look forward to. So I'd wake up and be like, oh, I get to go read the comments. Not this morning, I didn't.
No, Christmas morning.
Oh,
it's
Christmas,
like,
it was
so
like
excited.
Christmas morning, yeah, because you get to wake up, and then you'd wake up, you're like, the video failed. I'm like, dang it.
Should we talk about comments for a minute? How do you guys handle comments? How do you, like, do you read them? Do you reply? Negative comments can sometimes be a bummer. So how do you guys handle comments? There are a lot out there, which I think is great. But
I mean, I think when we all started, it all affected us, like, probably personally. We all took it personally, but I think it's becoming like almost a joke. Like, that you have to have those negative comments on there to know you're doing something right, because they're still coming back, and you'll notice the same names too. It's the same names, yeah.
My videos so much. Why are you still watching?
And they're still subscribed, and they're following you on Twitter and Facebook, yeah, and everything.
You really hate me that much. I mean, but honestly, some people literally do just subscribe just to be mean, and I think they just want you to acknowledge them. And when you do, they're either still angry, or they're really excited that you actually said hi to them. But I mean, that's the hard part too. And even for my mom, she'll read through my comments and she's like, you need to stop making video game videos because these people hate you. I'm like, no, Mom, they're just upset because the video game community can be really, really harsh, and that's like literally my favorite thing to do. So, you know, when I started the gaming channel, people were very, very mean. And I was like, this is my passion, this is something that I love to do, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So as soon as you find that audience of people that really support you, you know, they stand up for you in the comments.
I mean, for every negative comment, you have probably like 10 positive comments too. So I mean, that's just motivation in general. So, and then you just like, you're able to interact, and like, you're able to like, there's a lot of people in the comment section that I've actually met at these events, just because they say their username, and I remember, and they just, you know,
I think you guys would be surprised at how much YouTubers read their comments. Like, I know it's like an addiction for me. It's like constantly. And there's a real appreciation for good, like, constructive comments. You know, like, there's so many just like first and all that crap. It's like you glean through. But when I come across like a real thought out, you know, comment, I appreciate that and I read that. So that's important to us, you know. So don't feel like your comments are going unseen, because we constantly read them. And those like really meaningful comments where there's a lot of times where it's like, a comment will say that I'm doing something wrong, and you know, human nature is like, no, shut up. But then I've kind of said, well, maybe there's something to this. Maybe this person has, and if you know, you let that in, you can kind of like change yourself if you will be willing to, like, you know, listen.
Well, and you know, as much as comments still suck to this day, and as much as there will always be trolls, the comment section has gotten better over the years, and I think a lot of credit needs to go to YouTube for introducing ratings on comments, because that provides an incentive for people to actually leave good ones. And I think they're probably going to continue to get better as, you know, there's more and more Google Plus integration, as it's more connected to the people personally, not just some anonymous username.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. So bad comments do exist, but there are a lot of really good ones, and everybody's reading them, and you just roll with it, it sounds like. Use it to influence when it's, you know, helpful.
And it's kind of crazy, like, if there's something that I don't know, like, I've never had to buy a refrigerator before, and I had to recently, and so I made a video just talking about, like, I went to Best Buy, I'm like showing everybody my refrigerators, and everyone's like, oh, I have this one, and they were giving me all these ratings, and they were telling me what their parents have, and some kid was just telling me, like, his dad had, like, this specific refrigerator that he had all these issues with, so I obviously didn't get that refrigerator. It's really cool because, you know, I'm reading through, and people are giving me their real life experiences on what refrigerator they have. So, I mean, I should get a Samsung refrigerator if anybody's really concerned. I don't know. I mean,
sell out.
No, everyone told me to get a Samsung refrigerator, so I did. So thank you.
There's been times I've been at Best Buy where I'm like, and I'll tweet, I'm like, you guys, I need some product reviews. What's the best one? And it's been really helpful. I'm like, okay, good, I'm getting this one.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, do you guys ever watch like instructional videos then? One of my friends wants tying a tie, or what have you like watched that's maybe surprising in terms of refrigerator reviews, or something else?
Going back to the refrigerator, I accidentally pushed some buttons on it and it turned it off, and I didn't realize it for a couple days until everything in my refrigerator and freezer melted. So I did go to YouTube and I'm like, refrigerator turning off, don't understand, and they're like, oh, you just need to reset it. So, I mean, you literally can find anything on the internet.
Search it.
I love it.
What's an instructional video?
How to. Okay, let's take it back to you guys though for a second. What do you think really contributed to your success? I know we went over having your own voice or whatnot, but can you point to like a specific idea or video or moment where you felt like something clicked and you're like, cool, I'm running with this and hopefully it's gonna work.
I mean, I think we've all had those moments where you have a video that kind of catches fire. You know, Dan, we talk about the comments giving us information. You know, Dan provides a lot of like how to do a Rubik's Cube. How many views does that video have? Like
20-some million.
Right. So if 20 million people watched you do a Rubik's Cube, and if he's kind of a funny, cool guy, they're like, oh, this guy can do a Rubik's Cube, and he's kind of smart. Maybe I'll check him out. So there's videos like that will happen that are just crazy that blow up and handsome, right? So tell us how many doors the Rubik's Cube has opened for you, Dan.
42 quintillion. That's actually how many different. Yeah. How many different combinations of.
And was the Rubik's Cube just something you were like, cool, I know how to do this and let's do it?
I mean, obviously I made the video like hoping it would get some views, but like no one ever expects that many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think going back to the question, like what has kept people watching, I mean, yeah, that provided the most incredible like introduction to YouTube ever. But then continuing with that, like I was a kid, like I was a 17-year-old kid and my audience has kind of grown up with me and so, I mean, yeah, it definitely is about personality. We touched on that earlier.
It's kind of interesting too because I can't speak for everybody here on this, but we've all had our moments where like we realized there was something there, and Justine with her the phone bill and stuff like that. But like, for me, honestly, I still don't know what I'm doing. Like I'm just learning. I'm still learning along with everyone else because YouTube is what I know is still what you guys know at the same time. You know what I mean? I may have been there earlier, but. I think we're all still learning. I know when I have conversations with everybody, we have an idea, we have an understanding, but we're still learning what really works and works for us. Coming back with Dan, with the niche community or niche community is really important because then you kind of narrow down things. But I mean, honestly, like I'm still learning with everyone else.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, you said growing up with your audience. I mean, I started doing this in 2006 before vlogging was actually vlogging. You know, I was just posting vlogs that happened to have videos in them of my day.
Vlogs.
So it's really cool because, you know, you are growing up with
I remember my first iJustine video.
I'm scared.
No, it was the first time I ever heard of you. It was when the iPhone came out in your build. I was like, who is this hot babe with this giant AT&T bill? And I thought it was so funny, and I didn't even know people like made videos and like. And then I found out like, whoa, she edits all her stuff on her own. And like, then I discovered there's like, you know, a lot more of these people that were doing that, and I just wanted to talk about my first iJustine moment. So.
So sweet.
I have nothing to add.
But I mean, even like that video, that kind of made me realize, you know, there's something more to this. I mean, I was just showing people how ridiculous this phone bill was. And you know, within 2 hours, it was on every local news station, everywhere. I was like, this is ridiculous. I should keep doing this.
And it was relatable. You know, people could relate to having an iPhone, and I mean, that's important. Relate to what's going on in the general culture.
And it changed the world. The bill changed.
It did, a day later,
yeah.
Actually. They sent like a message out, they're like, we're sorry, we apologize.
Cool. Well, I think that brings up a good point. You're talking about seeing your first iJustine video, maybe about the community and how you guys all interact and like either work with each other or bounce ideas off each other, and just kind of the process and how kind of being part of the YouTube community gives you ideas or influences what you end up doing.
Yeah, I remember the first days, you know, when we first started